Well, howdy everyone. Today, I want to talk about when I was growing up. TV was a big thing. We watched a lot of TV growing up. I mean, don't get me wrong, we'll go outside and play and all that, but a lot of the shows I remember was the shows that was in the 60's. And you know, you go back to school, you talked about this. I mean, like, I made a list because, you know, I forgot. I actually went back and found a lot of shows that, hell, I forgot about. But a lot of shows I remembered, you know, once I seen it on YouTube, I was like, well, damn, I forgot about that show. And a lot of these were favorites, you know, my favorites. My mom, my dad. My brother pretty much just watched whatever we was watching. And that's the way it was. You know, when Dad was home from work, you watch what he watched. And then when, you know, Dad was at work, we had to watch goddamn soap operas all the time with Mom. Jesus. Guys in Light, As the World Turns. Shit, what else? I can't remember. But Mom still watches that shit today. Hell, I'm 52 years old. But, like I said, some of the shows that I watched as a kid, small kid, were shows that was in the 60's. They were reruns. And these shows, you know, I figured I'd do something to talk about them a little bit. Like the Addams Family. I think it was only on for 2 seasons. And, you know, it ain't like we sat there and watched the whole season like you can today. We caught an episode, hell, we watched it. Sometimes it was already 10, 15 minutes into it. But loved the Addams Family. The Alfred Hitchcock Hour. Mom liked horror movies. That's what got me into horror movies and shows. The suspense, drama. Ooh, love it. And cartoons. Boy, cartoons were a big thing in the 60's and 70's. Woo! The Alvin Show. Chipmunks. Heck, my grandbabies watched some of that today. The Andy Griffith Show. Oh, mercy. Everybody loved Andy and Barney. Whew. Aunt Bee. Goober. I mean, the way it was set it up, it was like in Mount Airy, North Carolina. Who'd ever thought I'd end up working out Mount Airy? I worked down there for 9 years for a trucking company. And went by and seen the old car, police car and all that. It's a really nice place. I like Mount Airy. And you know what? Their gas stations are open 24/7. Huh, go figure. American Bandstand. Loved it. Hell, it was all the way up. Shit, I think that show ran all the way up in the 90s. With Dick Clark having all these different special guests, musician guests on bands. Oh, it was great. Batman. Batman Robin. Adam West. God damn, that was the shit. I loved that show. Beverly Hillbillies. That was a favorite for all of us. Hell, Daddy loved it. Especially Grandma. God damn. Who would want to piss her off with that fucking shotgun? We watched Bewitched a little bit. Tinkle, you know, tinkle, tinkle, tinkle with your nose. The Big Valley. That was a Western. Oh, Lord. My daddy loved Westerns. Got me into them. Shit, I love Westerns too. I'm not no big cowboy or nothing like that, but you know, Daddy always said, you know, I think I could have made it back in the 1800s. When I grew up older as a teenager watching Westerns with him, I said, hell no, you couldn't have made it because you would have pissed somebody off and they would have shot your ass. You would have been a dead motherfucker. Bonanza. Hell, love Bonanza. Little Joe. Cartwrights. Michael Landon. Loved him as an actor. Little House on the Prairie and all that. I always thought he was just such a great actor. I heard he was a dick, but his acting skills I thought were superb. The Bugs Bunny Show. Cartoons. Don't know who Bugs Bunny is? Damn, you've been living under a rock. Captain Kangaroo, kids show, early in the morning. Kind of freaky in a way, but loved it. Car 54, Where Are You? The guy who played Herman Munster, it was a cop show, it was a comedy. It was okay. I only remember watching maybe 3 or 4 episodes. Let's see, Casper the Ghost cartoon show. Oh man, love Casper. Who never thought that I'd end up being a paranormal investigator one day? Daniel Boone. Anybody remember watching Daniel Boone? Oh, I loved that show. The same guy who played Daniel Boone also played the show Davy Crockett through Walt Disney. Dark Shadows. That was an okay show. Mom watched it. I didn't quite get into it. Dragnet, cop show. Like I said, a lot of these are going to be westerns and cop shows. Dick Van Dyke Show. Love Dick Van Dyke. I remember, like I said, I was little. This is when we lived in a trailer park. Daddy would get home from work about 1, 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. Mom scrambling up some eggs and gravy and stuff like. I'd smell that shit in the bed. I'd get up, rub my eyes. Daddy be all stretched out on the couch. Mom in the kitchen. He'd tell me, "Cole, crawl up on him." I remember crawling up on him, sitting on his chest and watching Dick Van Dyke Show. I love that show even today. The Ed Sullivan Show. We watched it a little bit. I remember it. The FBI, another fucking cop show. My family is big into cop shows. Ain't none of them cops. The Flintstones, love them. Great cartoon. When they made the movies, I wasn't a big fan of it. Flipper, I don't know if any of y'all remember Flipper, the fucking dolphin. That was okay. F Troop. That was a hell of a western. You have it set back out in the west with a bunch of cavalrymen, Native Americans. Show like that today be racist as fuck, but back then it was a good show. Get Smart. That was another comedy. Gilligan. Excuse me. I got choked up looking at this one. Gilligan's Island. Love Gilligan. You know, I worked in Princeton at a print shop, and Bob Denver, Gilligan, that was the star of the show, he lived in Princeton, West Virginia. I didn't know that shit. I was in there working, and all of a sudden, Bob Denver walks right in through the fucking door, and I'm like, is that Gilligan? And the guy I was working for, he comes in there and he's like, "You want to meet Bob Denver?" I, "Fuck yeah, I do." I actually got to meet Gilligan. I didn't get no autograph. He told me not to ask for autographs, so I didn't. But yeah, I met him 2 or 3 times. He got some printing done, and he was big into weed too. Green Acres. Green Acres is the place for me. Farm living is a life for me. Another great show. Gunsmoke. Oh, Matt Dillon. Oh, Daddy loved that show. And Festus. I can't believe I'm remembering all this shit. Hawaii Five-O. Na 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 na. I ain't talking about the new one. I'm talking about the one that they created in the 60s. Another cop show. Hogan's Heroes. Love that show. That was set back in World War II. Bunch of American soldiers, and foreign soldiers, were captured and pretty much ran a fucking camp. That was really good. I Dream of Jeannie. Oh, sexy. Oh, God. What's her name? Barbara Eden? Hottie. Ironside. Barely I remember the music, but The cop show is another cop show. Jeopardy. Goddamn, Jeopardy's been around forever. My papa Shortridge loved Jeopardy. He loved daytime game shows, especially in the morning. Let's see, Jeopardy, the Pyramid. Excuse me, what else was it? I remember the Dating Game, Gong Show. What else did he watch? Price is Right. Hell, my uncle went to Price is Right. He didn't get chose because he's an asshole. What else? Well, fuck it. The Jetsons Cartoon. Everybody loves the Jetsons. It's supposed to be futuristic, This is where, actually, this time they played, we should be driving around in, flying cars, but we're getting there. Johnny Quest cartoon. I don't know if anyone watched it, but I loved it. Most of them came on like a Sunday morning. Hell, you get up at 6 o'clock in the morning on a Sunday just to watch fucking cartoons. That sucked. Lassie. No, everybody knows about Lassie. Lassie, the movie was actually filmed part of it here in Tazewell. That was awesome. Land of the Giants, that's another cartoon. I barely remember it. I know everyone knows Leave It to Beaver. Leave It to a Beaver. You get it. that show, it was a good comedy. It was alright. Love American Style. Oh gosh. That was kind of like Saturday Night Live before Saturday Night Live. And women showing, in their little bitty bikinis and stuff. And whoo, Lord, Dad sat there and wouldn't say a word. He just watched real quiet. Mom be watching him. And I'm like, oh, there's too much tension in this house. Watching some of these damn shows with these women showing a little bit of skin. Fuck. Maverick, another Western Dad loved. McHale's Navy, loved it. It's a bunch of dumbasses back during the war. And also, they had a McHale's Navy movie, I think, in the 90s. I thought it was a damn good movie. They did a good job with it. Mission Impossible. This is before Tom Cruise. That was a good TV show. Tom Cruise has done a great job, I think, with Mission Impossible. I love the movies. Mr. Ed. The talking horse. Anyway. Mod Squad. Another cop show. Remember this one? The Monkees? Hell yeah. That was a great comedy show. Love those guys. Love their music too. Still yet today. My Three Sons. That was a good comedy. Single Dad Raising Two Boys. Or Three Boys. That's pretty good. The Outer Limits. Oh my God. When I started watching those, it's kind of like the Twilight Zone. Oh my gosh. With all their different either horror or drama or weird ass comedy. Man, those are fucking awesome. Perry Mason. Law Show, of course. The Real McCoys. Another fucking Western. Like I said, a lot of these are some that I've seen and I remember them. They were big favorites of Mom and Dad's. Petticoat Junction. I remember it. I just remember these women up in like a big ass water tower and throwing their wet dainties over it, showing their shoulders. I'm like, oh Lord. I might have been a kid, but I wasn't no dumbass. Rawhide. Another Western. The Rifleman. Another Western. Sea Hunt. Loved it. It was all about the ocean and shit. Anything that I could learn that wasn't familiar, I loved it. Space, underwater, horror. Oh my God, this shit was just fascinating for me. I mean, I was like a sponge soaking this shit up. Get it? See her? Space Ghost. Great cartoon. They did a lot with Space Ghost. Really like Space Ghost. Spider-Man cartoon. Spider-Man. Yeah. Tarzan. Shit, there's a Tarzan TV show and Tarzan movies. I liked all the Tarzans. There was a thing called Thriller. That was about horror flicks too. And Chiller. That's horror flicks. I think that's more in the 70's though. Top Cat. That was a cartoon. It was alright. It came on Sunday with all the others. Star Trek. Oh my God, when I first started watching Star Trek, I fell in love. I'm a Trekkie. I admit it. People don't like it. You can kiss my ace. I love Star Trek and I love Star Wars. I can separate the two. Most people can't. And I don't know why. The Twilight Zone. I was talking about that earlier. It's similar to the Outer Limits. Loved it. Still love it today. I watched the marathon every year on New Year's Eve. Love the Twilight Zone. Underdog, the cartoon. I don't know if anybody remembers that. That was a pretty good cartoon. The Untouchables. Another cop show. The Virginians. Another Western. I liked it. It was okay. Voyage to the Bottom of the Sea. Oh my gosh, that was a great show. If you ain't never seen it, I recommend that if anybody wants to watch something old. Walt Disney. Oh gosh. Every Sunday, I think it was around 7 o'clock, they show an hour-long cartoon or two 30-minute cartoons. And then they had a Walt Disney movie that they would show. And a lot of these shows I'm mentioning are only like 30 minutes long. So don't think like, God damn, is that all you all did was sit and watch TV? No. Mom and Dad kept our ass outside. Here's a Western I love because it was more of a spy type thing. They were government agents. The Wild Wild West. That was an amazing show. I still love watching it. I think the movie that they did with Will Smith, it was okay. You know, I think Will Smith did a good job. But, another good cartoon, Yogi the Bear, real famous. The Carol Burnett Show. Oh my gosh. Tim Conway and Carol Burnett. And I can't remember the other guy. They giggled more than they actually fucking did any acting. Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood. I love Mr. Rogers. I learned a lot from that man. I know a lot of people make fun of him. But you know what? That man, he cared. He cared about kids. And he cared about changing the world, and he did. I think that's what the world needs more now is more Mr. Rogers. The Big Valley. I don't think, did I already mention that? But that's a Western. It was alright. Family Affair was a little comedy. I think it was only like on a season or two. It was about another single father raising two kids with a butler. And that's where my brother got his name from. Jody is from that show because it was the two little kids were Jody and Buffy. I Spy. If I'm not mistaken, that had Bill Cosby in it. Gomer Pyle. He's from Andy Griffith's show. And he went in the Marines And he gave his drill sergeant hell. If you haven't watched it, I highly recommend it. The Lucille Ball Show. Love Lucille. If you didn't love Lucille, there's something wrong with y'all. Rowan and Martin's Laugh In. That was a good show. It was alright. Dragnet. I think I already said that one. Oh well. Hazel. I remember Mom watching it all the time. I didn't. The Smothers Brothers Comedy Hour. We watched that. It was alright. And Mom and Dad, they did. They really do. They like comedy and Western, especially Dad with the Westerns. But if I turned it on anything that was educational or sci-fi or anything like that, oh, good God. All hell break loose. Three Stooges. Who the fuck don't like the Three Stooges? Let's see here. Medical Center. I like that show. That was before ER and all these other medical shows. The Honeymooners. Talk about spousal abuse. Woo. That was a tough one. The Guns of Will. The Guns of Will Sonnet. That's a Western. That Dad loved. Like I said, Daddy loved Westerns. And I'll talk about some Western movies from the 70's and more. Because what I'm trying to do is talk about my wife, talk about things that I experienced. And that even counts, like TV shows and movies. And, I'll talk about some of the items that I remember. I might have, I gotta look some of this shit up. Like I said, I'm forgetful as hell. This diabetes has fucked with my brain. But I was always I couldn't remember nothing. I just found out that one famous actor, he was like me. Can't remember no damn lines. He has to wear an earpiece so somebody can tell him his lines. Wish the fuck somebody would tell me that. I always up there trying to remember my shit. Miss Evans giving me hell. Well, I'll cut this one off. And like I said, I'll talk a little bit more about school, elementary school, and more things about the 70's I remember. I'll work my way up until now. It's going to take a while. I appreciate y'all watching, and, if you like what I'm, my stuff, subscribe, like it, you don't have to. But if you do, I appreciate it. I just need an outlet to talk about my life because, I know with my illnesses, I could drop over dead and fuck. And I like to tell people what I remember and work my way up through my life. I guess it's my book, but it's going to be a YouTube book. But anyway, you all have a great day, and thank y'all so much. I'm going to push this little button, stop it. Ba-bam. Ba-bam. Well, it didn't work. Well, shit.